Hello and welcome back. My name is Loopy and today I will be showing you guys how to make a 2x2 elevator in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Yep, you heard me, 2x2. Can you believe it? Well, you'd better believe it because I have just built it and I think I'm the first one on YouTube to do it for Bedrock Edition. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so here it is fully constructed and some of you may have already seen it in one of my recent videos showcasing it. But anyway, let's take a look at the redstone. So here we have a solar panel taking wireless redstone from that piston up there. And here we have a redstone block powering this T flip-flop. And we got classic double piston extender and a hopper clock. So yeah, we got quite a few different redstone techniques going on, and of course the flying machines. And this one's 2x2, so I've put these two side by side. And if you want to have a look at the original video, which I made a while back now, it'll be in the top right corner. You see that white bar just coming up at the top right corner? You see it? Good, you got it. And so if we take a look inside, we'll just hop in here, press this button, the doors will close, then a second later we will be lifted up and then we will be reaching the top eventually. And here we are, we've reached the top, then again a second later the doors open, and we can take a look at the lovely view of Minecraft. And then when we please, we can then go back in and the doors close, and again then a second later the elevator goes down. And this was a bit difficult because it's quite hard to make it so that the doors open a second after you get up there, so it's safe, and also they close a second before you go up, which is a bit difficult. So I had to make two separate circuits, and it's easiest to see on the top one. So we got a double pulse, so when we press this, it lets the item in here go round one time, and that gives a redstone tick out of here, and it goes back, and another one, so it pushes the redstone block. One activates this, which activates the double piston extender, and it does it again, which then opens it again. But also the observer, which you can see on the flying machine just there, will power this redstone dust. If I can get up, it will power this redstone dust here. But also, here's another good thing: when the elevator's down here, the doors close, and vice versa. And another thing is this button here. And you may be thinking, Loopy, what does it do? You're just dancing around the fact that it's a button and you're just not telling us what it does. But it sends a signal all the way down to this one so that we can cool the elevator. So we can do that. Press this and we'll just wait for the elevator. Just wait for the elevator, and here we go. You can see it, and here we go. And we can hop in and go, but we're not going to do that because we're going to the bottom. And as you can see, as the elevator's not here, the doors aren't open, and we got another one of these buttons here. So if I press it, we'll wait for the elevator again. You can see it making its way down, and here it comes. So we'll just wait. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. So without further ado, let's get in to building this redstone contraption. Okie dokie, to start off this build, we are going to need to place a piston here, and then a sticky piston here, then two slime blocks there and there. take a quick look at that, and then what we're going to want to do is mine these 2 blocks so that we can fit under here and place a sticky piston on the right and a normal piston on the left. Then let's quickly get out of here and place 2 slime blocks there, and we've hit water. But then we can mine out these, all of these blocks right here. And if you quickly take a look at this piston setup, we got on the right here, we've got a normal piston. On the left, we've got a sticky piston. And again, if I just show you guys from below, you can see this is a normal piston and this is a sticky piston. So on the right side, we've both got sticky pistons. But moving swiftly on, we are going to put obsidian there and there. This will stop it from going down too far so that we can set it off again. Then we're going to want to mine this block and this block. Then put slime here and here. This is what will connect our floor, which is here and here. And then again, this will connect our roof. So we got 2 slime blocks there. And so if you want to quickly take a look at that, maybe pause the video so that you can just catch up with that. All right then. Now we want to get our observers. Place 1 observer on this block with the dot facing towards us. Then we're going to go round, and on this slime block we're going to place it facing towards us with the red dot facing towards us, and it's on the bottom this time. Then we're going to grab a sticky piston, place that here facing out this way, if you see that, and then we'll go over the top like here and get an observer and place that there. Now you will be able to see that this does set off. So if we go 1, 2 and mine this one, this arrow has to be facing this way, and the reason we're doing this is to create a redstone clock. As you can see, this is creating a redstone clock if you put these facing each other like that. Take a quick look at that, and so we'll quickly do that like that, and there we go, we are lift off. And then when we get to the desired height, maybe 3, 2, 1, there we go, then we'll place 2 obsidian blocks on here, and it just looks quite neat if we put 2 rather than 1, but they have to be immovable objects. They can be terracotta or obsidian or the new crying obsidian, which I personally really love. And then to send it back down, what we're going to want to do is we're going to put a sticky piston right here, like so. Can you see that right there? And a button on that sticky piston. Then put a sticky piston here on that red dot facing this way. Then, warning, essential part, very, very essential. With the last one, people miss this out, and we're going to activate this like so. This is very essential. Remember it, please. And then we can just send it back down by pressing that, and it goes back down, and it will stop because we got that obsidian right there. Now what we're going to want to do is duplicate it again. Also, by the way, we don't need this anymore, it was just for the redstone clock. Now we're going to duplicate it again, so let's get to it. Alright, step 2, now we only need to copy it over. So we are going to grab our piston and place it facing upwards here, and on the right a sticky piston. This is exactly the same as the other one, but it's just inverted, as you can see. And then again our slime blocks, then mine our blocks here so that we can fit underneath, and again place our sticky piston, normal piston and slime blocks. If you want to take a quick look at that, maybe pause the video. So we got a piston there and a sticky piston there. Then we'll mine all of these blocks, like so. All of these, and remember this one and this one, so that the slime blocks don't take the dirt with them. Then we're going to grab obsidian, place it, not there, there and there. And again, slime blocks there and there. And then our floor blocks here and here. And again, a slime block and eventually our roof. Now we're going to go around here and place an observer on this lowest slime block here with the red dot facing us. And on the top slime block here, we're going to have an observer with the red dot facing us again and a sticky piston right there. Then put our observer on the sticky piston with the arrow facing this way. Make sure that the arrow is facing that way, otherwise it will not work. Then on this side, this is where we're putting our clock rather than on this side. So then mine this block, and before we do that, we're going to go up here and we're putting our obsidian blocks right where it should be so it aligns with this one so that they're in sync. And so if I quickly complete this redstone clock like this, there we go. It moves swiftly upwards and we'll eventually get to the top, as you can see. And then here we want the sticky piston again, and remember to activate it, very, very, very essential. And then we can get rid of this button. Then here we've just got the one for our other elevator, and remember again, we want to put a sticky piston here, like so. Now that is practically step 2 complete, but we'll just check that it works. So press this button and it should go down like so. Then it will hit this obsidian block and stop moving like that. And again, we can get rid of this observer. And last of all, for step 2, we want to place a sticky piston right here, and that will pull this observer, setting it off from the bottom, and this is what will activate it from the bottom, and the same on the other side, like so. That is step 2 complete. Okay, now moving on to step 3, and step 3 is the aesthetics for the bottom floor. This is a very, very simple step, as all we have to do is place this block in, this block in, this block in, and this one. Then when the doors will be closed, which we'll add in later, it will look like we're in the elevator shaft. So if I open this up, then we want to grab an obsidian block, place that here and here. They have to be immovable objects. It doesn't have to be obsidian. I just prefer obsidian to most immovable objects. Then we're going to place one here, 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 here and here, and one right there. The reason why we've got one here and not there is because we're going to have a slime block hipster door. So if we replace this, then the slime block will be here, meaning that these have to be immovable objects. So we're going to take that slime away for the moment. And that is pretty much step 3, complete. Okay, moving swiftly on to step number 4, and you may notice a difference. I have added this extra tube in, and I think it looks quite nice as it's like a grand exit. And also I have added some redstone in. Now this step number 4, is linking this button, which I have put here. Make sure it's right here next to this obsidian block, linking it up so that both of these go up in synchronization. Now, how do we do it? What we're going to do is we're going to go behind the block with the button on it, right here, and place 1, 2 blocks of choice. Can you remember that? And then 2 bits of redstone on it, and then we'll do this side. So we're going to go 1 down, then 1 out, and 1 across, like an L if I'm facing this way and it's inverted. And then we're going to go along 1 more block, then place a repeater on 3 ticks. This is very essential. 1, 2, 3 ticks, and it makes it work it will not work unless you put it on 3 ticks. So remember that. And then 3 more blocks of pieces of redstone, and they go along here. Then we'll do another L. This one's not inverted. And the reason why we're doing this is it has to go around this observer here, and make sure there's a gap there, otherwise the contraption will not work. And it doesn't matter if there's a gap there and not there. It does matter if there's a gap there and not there, because otherwise it will break. So make sure there's a gap there, and then just link it up to this piston here, which will pull this across, setting off the entire system. Got that? Do you want? I'll just fly up above, and maybe you can pause the video so that you can place it for yourselves. Okay, now moving on to linking it up on this side over here. We're actually going to go down below 1 block here, place a glass block. The reason why it's glass is because it's transparent. And so if the scenario we've got here is we want to send the redstone signal like this. So we've got redstone here, and then redstone dust here and here. But can you see this one's just a block on its own, whereas these two are linked? And the reason is this block here is cutting off the signal between this one and this one, whereas if it's a transparent block, like so, you can tell that it's not cutting off the redstone signal. That's a useful tip for you. It also works with half slabs. So we're going to mine out a couple of blocks, go down one, and then do that stair that I just showed you, right there. And then we're going to go out 1 more block, and then place a repeater on 3 ticks, like that. 3 ticks essential, otherwise the contraption will not work again. Then 2 more pieces of redstone just in front of that before going back up again, and placing 1 more in front of that, like this. This button's not essential, it was just whilst I was working on it. Then you go down a block, otherwise this observer, if we had the block going along here, this observer would detect it and then set the whole system off, but only this half of the system. And remember, have you noticed how this one's on 3 ticks and the other one was on 3 ticks? And that's so that they're in sync, but the reason why I've got 3 ticks is so that it doesn't break. Now, I'll just go up above here so that you can pause the video there and just place in all the blocks, and then I'll just go in underneath so that you can place in all the blocks for the underneath, right there. All right, now we're ready to test it, and we can hop in if we want. Can you see 2x2 space, press the button, and we go up. Yes, and eventually we will add walls, so we can't just walk out. And then we will reach the top, and again, I've added another platform. Remember, we got our obsidian here, and there's a 2 gap here. Otherwise, the observer will detect it and send only this half back down. Then we've got a tube here with a button on this block, which is next to it. Now, I haven't added the redstone in to link these up, and that's because it's really, really simple. And so if I remember, it's this block. So I'm going to place a normal block here, then glass, remember glass, and 1 more there. And then we're going to place another block there, then there, with glass on it there, then a normal block, sorry about that, and then place this on 4 ticks, remember 4 ticks, and redstone dust coming out of there. Then we're going to run it along here, so we can place a block here, and 2 pieces of redstone there and there, then 2 blocks here with redstone dust on them, and then 2 pieces of redstone here, so that this one activates this piston and this piece activates that. I don't know why I keep saying block of redstone rather than redstone dust, but never mind. And the reason why we've got a block here is it uses less redstone, and it's a cool way of sending the redstone signal round corners rather than with repeaters, rather than going like this, which, as you can see, if we activate it, it will go round the corner like that. But we can also do this like that, and that will also work. Can you see that? So it's just a way to save your redstone dust. And now we can go back up and test it from above, and then if it works, yes, there we go. That is step 4 complete. Sorry, we're about to move on to step 5. There we go. That is step 4 complete. Alright, now for step 5, we are going to make the place look nicer by adding in all of the walls like this. So, I mean, you can make it whatever colour you want. I like quartz personally because it looks neat and quite modern and nice. But remember, we want the door to open. Remember, we're going to have a door here, and then it will open and the blocks will be down to here. So remember, do not place them further than here, like that. And we can place that one there. But just remember, otherwise the door won't be able to open. And this is only for this side. So if we mine that block, and then we can go up on the other side as well, as far as we can go. And you can make this like a pattern if you want. Like you can do a diagonal pattern like I showed before with my original design. You can basically do whatever pattern you want. And if we hop in now, like this, we can't walk out like that. So it's safer and looks nicer. And then we've got the gap, remember, so that the doors will be able to open. And this is step 5 complete. Yes, it was a very simple step, but it's important because it makes it look so much nicer. Anyway, that's step 5 complete. Now, for step 6, we are going to be doing the double piston extenders. Now, I've taken a design from the Bow Tie Man. Go check out his channel. And this design of double piston extender is from him. He designed it himself. But anyway, let's get on with it. And what we're going to do is take out this block and replace it with 2 slime blocks. Then get our 2 pistons right here. That's what make it a double piston extender, I guess, because it's 2. Anyway, then a block of choice here with a redstone lamp here and an observer with the red dot facing us up here. So the face should be facing the lamp, detecting when it's on. Then we want a dispenser, but before that, if we're on Pocket Edition, try place an observer facing that way. That's the good thing about Pocket Edition. We can do it like that, or you can just place 2 blocks here and then place an observer facing that way, and then it will fire this, but that doesn't matter. And then we're going to place a dispenser facing into this block so that the mouth of it is facing into the observer face. Now we want a block of choice here and here. Then an immovable object, I use obsidian, right here. Then a redstone torch here and here. And eventually a block here. Now that is it done. And if we want to test it out, this is where we're going to activate it. So place a button and you can see that's the full retraction, and then press it again and it extends, and of course it's retracted again because we've used a button. But that is the double piston extender for the top done. And remember, full credit to the Bow Tie Man. Please go check out his channel. And now we're going to move on to doing it for the bottom one, creating the door for the bottom one. Okay, to do it on the bottom, it's basically exactly the same as on the top, but we're just doing it underground. So we're going to mine the block where the slime block will be, which is this one right here. And then we can mine this one and this one. Then place a block of choice here, and then 2 slime blocks here and here. Then we're going to place in our sticky pistons. So if I just create a platform for them, that's not sticky pistons, that's sticky pistons, there we go. That makes it a double piston extender, but we need to place in all of our blocks. So remember, we got our normal block, then our redstone lamp, then our observer detecting the redstone lamp, then a block of choice. Then here it's quite easy to do because we can just put our dispenser there and then crouch like that and place an observer. If we don't crouch, we'll just open the dispenser, whereas if we do crouch, we'll place something on the observer. And then we are going to just mine around here so that we can actually see what's going on. And also, by the way, remember to mine a big space under here so that you can move around and see what's going on. Then remember, block here, and immovable block here. Then redstone torch, and that is it done. And we'll just check. There we go. That's the double extension and that's the double retraction. Alright, now soon we will need to link it up to something, but that's the end of step 6. Now we're on step 7, and step 7 is going to be a very short step as we're only adding in T flip-flops. Now, if any of you don't know what a T flip-flop is, it turns a button pulse, which only lasts for a while, like a couple of seconds, into what I would say a lever pulse, and which lasts forever basically. And it's very clever and very small. And so what we're going to do is place a block here, then a dropper facing upwards. We can mine this block, and then crouch like this and place a dropper facing, oh no, I'm going to have to place a block, and then crouch and place a dropper facing this way like that. Then crouch again and place a hopper going into this dropper. This is called a hopper dropper T flip-flop because there's a hopper and there's a dropper. Congratulations. And then finally we're just going to add a comparator. So crouch and place the comparator with the red dot facing this way and the 2 dots facing that way. Then all we have to do is place a junk item that we don't really mind losing in here. And as you can see, that powers this comparator. And then if we place a button on top of this, and then it turns it back off and on and off. And this is very useful for turning, because we need a button pulse for our elevator to set off. And this does work, the double extension and double retraction, so don't worry about that. Now all we have to do is do one for the top. So it's the exact same thing. So go 2 blocks away and dropper facing up, not there, dropper facing up there, then crouch, place one facing this way, and then place another block here so that we can crouch and place a hopper going into this. Then we can stand on top of this dropper here and place a comparator, remember crouch, or you can just place it by pressing on this block here like that. That's a clever way of doing it and it saves time. And then remember our junk item just there, and it should turn it on, and as you can see we got the full extension. And then if I place a button on it like this, we have the full retraction and extension and retraction. And at the moment we want to extend it so that nobody can be at the top of here and be like daydreaming and just walk into this void down at the bottom and break every bone in their body. We wouldn't really like that now, would we? Anyway, moving on to step 8. Okay, for step 8, we want to link up these T flip-flops to the elevator so that when it reaches the top, this double piston extender will open the doors. Okay, to do that, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, mine these 2 blocks, and place one going out here. We can place redstone on both of these, and then go down one like this. Then we go out for a bit, and go 1, 2, place a repeater here on 1 tick, sorry, because that's the least it can go. And 1, 2, 3. Then we mine this button because it was just for demonstration purposes. And then all we need to do now is, if I can, place this and then place a block there like that. Then link this line up to the other line that we've made up here like this. So if you take away all of these blocks, and there we go. Then we put that there and go on here, crouch, and place it on there. Now, this observer, as the elevator comes up, this observer right here will detect when it reaches here, and it will give an output here, giving it to this T flip-flop, lost it there, T flip-flop, which opens the doors. Now, we will add the delay later, but for the moment we're just keeping it on 1 tick. Remember, we will add the delay later, but we're going on to linking up the bottom one. Okay, for the bottom section, it is basically exactly the same as the top, so I've already added it in. So here, you see this block here, we're going up diagonally 1, so this would be it diagonally, and then we're going up 1 with a block of choice, then a piece of redstone, then going down 1 with a bit of redstone on top, and we're basically doing a spiral staircase all the way down here, and you get the gist. And then it would basically go all the way around here, and here we want to repeat from 4 ticks. The reason why we want a repeater here is because this observer powers this block here, and if we had redstone dust here, then this redstone dust would be powered and it would just mess up the whole system. So that's why we've got a repeater, and it has to be on 4 ticks so that the system works. Then we're going to go around the corner here and just place it on top of the T flip-flop here, which powers it. Okay, that is the bottom section completely done. Okay, step 10 is the last step before we can test out the door. So what we want to do is grab ourselves a redstone torch and place it right here on that block. Then place a temporary block underneath it with a hopper running into it. Then mine this block, and we can place another one just to crouch on whilst we run another hopper into this hopper. Now we should have the setup of a hopper clock, and these are commonly used in a lot of my contraptions. And for this specific one, it's used to give a double pulse. Then we're going to place a block just there with a comparator running out of it, like so. This will give an output when the junk item, which we haven't put in yet, like for example this, when the junk item goes into this hopper, it will detect it, and we're going to run this into some redstone dust, so that will be powered when it detects it, and then a repeater going into this block. This should be on 1 tick. This gives an output into this block, which gives an output into this sticky piston, which gives an output which pushes this redstone block onto this T flip-flop twice. And the reason I've done this is because this does it a certain amount of times that is not correct and the door just opens and closes. But if we have this contraption that I designed, the door opens and then closes very, very nicely. Okay, now all we need to do is do it for the bottom. Okay, I have fully added it in, and let's take a quick look at it. You can see here we have our hopper clock, and if I just break this block, there's the torch right on this block here. Then this comparator detects when the item's in this hopper here, which gives an output into this, which then powers this one, and which powers this block, which then gives an output into both of these sticky pistons, which then push these redstone blocks into the T flip-flop. The reason why I've got 2 redstone blocks this time is it makes sense because we got a block here so that this doesn't connect with anything, but it also won't connect with the redstone dust on top, and the redstone dust on top powers both sides, so that if it's in the bottom one, it powers the bottom one to shoot it up to the top one, and if it's on the top one, it powers the top one to shoot it into this hopper, which then powers it into this. So that's the reason why we've got 2 instead, and so it's a slightly different contraption or way of doing it, so I decided to show you it and go through it with you. Now that is this contraption bit complete. Right guys, now we are ready to add the calling system. So what we're going to do is use wireless redstone. Yep, wireless redstone. How, you may ask? We are going to use daylight sensors, and what we're going to do is place it on the ground right here and press it once. It turns blue, and what it does is it detects when a shadow is put over it. So if I quickly place a sticky piston, which will represent the redstone output, and I've placed one here, and I'm going to add a shadow over it once I place it on this block, and it should give an output shown by this piston. So ready? There we go. And that is the mechanic that we're going to use. So make it blue, and then place a glass block on top of this redstone torch. The reason why we're doing glass is because it's transparent, and then we're going to put a repeater right here on one tick. The reason why we've got a repeater is because it doesn't really give a very strong output, if I quickly show you. So this is our output line. It only gives it around about 3, so if I quickly put a shadow over it, it doesn't even do 3, it does 1. There we go. So that's my point proven. So now our next step is we're going to stand directly on top of this light sensor and fly directly upwards until we reach our contraption here, and this right here where we are, this is where we are, and this, can you see it's giving the output? So we're going to go 1 block this way and mine this, because we don't want the output yet. Then we're going to place 2 blocks here. These are temporary. We're going to mine that one and place a sticky piston right there. Then we're going to mine this one and place block of choice over here with redstone dust on here and here. Then we're going to get our block of choice and go all the way along here until the place where we've put our button here. I'm going to mine it because I can never remember where I've put my button. So it's on this block here. So what we're going to do is do 1, 2, then a block upwards, some redstone dust, and our other block, linking it all up. Then line it all with redstone, and this should connect to it, and then we can finally put our button in place. There. Alright, now we'll just quickly send the lift down, like this. It should be sent down. There we go. It's on its way down. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to press this button. And as you can see, this has been pushed and it sent it upwards. Can you see that? It sent it upwards. There we go. And there we go. The doors will open and then we can hop in, press the button, the doors will close, and then we're on our way back down. Alright, now our next step is to add in the calling system for the top. So when it's at the top and we want to call it from the bottom, that's what we're going to do. And I must admit, this one isn't as glamorous as wireless redstone, but let's go for it. Okie dokie, now all we need to do is add a calling system. So when we're at the bottom and it's at the top, we can add that. So all we need to do is place our button in, and you know me, I can never remember where the button is, even though there's not many places it could be. We're going to place redstone dust on, and then I'm going to add my button back in like that. Then we're going to bring it across like this, and then we're going to tower upwards, just like this. And remember not to interfere with this, because if you cast a shadow, this whole thing will set up. So we're only going 3. And then we can start our glass tower, and make sure that you keep an eye on your signal length. So did you know that the signal length for redstone dust, if it's a button, is 15, as I've set up here? So here is 16, and if I place it so if I get rid of this one, then this is 15. If you want to count it, you can, but I'm not. This is 15, I'll tell you that. And then if you press the button like this, you can see that it's turned on. Whereas if I add a 16th, like that, I press the button and the piston does not fire. So that's a useful tip for you. So let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll tower up a bit more. 11, 12, and then we need to connect to this. 13, 14, and we're cutting it short here, but a little too short, so we're going to have to add a repeater into the mix. So what we're going to do is place a normal block instead of this one, like this, and then add a repeater, just like that. Only 1 tick. It's just so that it resets the pulse length, and then we can put another glass block here. And then if we add in all of our redstone dust, like so, there we go. And let's just check that I have actually added it in, because I'm a bit stupid like that. There we go, and it should connect to this redstone line, firing all of these. So if I just set off our elevator like that, it should set off like, oh wait, silly me, I've gone over my own rule, which is placing the block in front. You know, I'm just very, very dumb. So let's just quickly replace that by doing this. It's the same action, and yes, now it's set off because I've changed the state of it, but like this, and then we go like this, and finally like that. So yes, I messed up a bit there, and I disobeyed my own rule, but that's just me being me. Okay, so now we've just gone like this with our repeater, running into this block with redstone dust on it, and then towering up, meeting it with this one. So now, as you can see, it is at the top, and I'm going to press this button. And we should see it make its way down, and it is making its way down, and we'll just wait, and the doors will open as soon as it reaches the bottom, like that. And there we go. That is this whole build complete. And yes, it was a confusing one. But anyway, that is the whole build complete. Now, unfortunately, that brings an end to the video, but thank you for watching if you still are, because it has been a long one. Definitely the longest video of them all. And look, we've even got a little fold to say bye-bye to you all. But anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe because it really does mean a lot to me. And since my last video, we've gone up 125 subscribers, and that's just insane to me. So thank you very much, and keep it up, please. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.